everybody. That was so funny.
I know.
That.
I'm gonna change it, but I can't bring myself to change it because I like the intro. Anyway, welcome.
We could put some go-go in there.
Oh, we could put some go-go on.
That would be
I'm
tight.
definitely open to that. Welcome back to your favorite two sisters.
Yeah,
we
welcome
have not been
back.
live in a couple of weeks, but
Yes.
it's so much going on, and we want to talk about it. And you guys can join in with us. Get in the comments
about it with us too, guys. Hey everybody, welcome. Listen, there's a lot happening out here in the streets.
I don't even know what to talk about.
We've been having some really good conversations about even how conversations should go. Mm-hmm. So anyway, there's a lot happening. We should probably just jump right in.
So we're going to be talking about some trending topics. Y'all know we talk about an array of things. So sometimes it's reality TV. Yeah. But tonight is going to be a little bit of a couple of things, right? Like some real world stuff that's going on. Well, is it real world stuff?
I mean, I guess it's like current news, current news, events.
Yeah. But I do want to talk reality TV at some point in the end really quick because I got a question for her because I bet you she still hasn't watched this show.
I probably didn't. Oh, sorry, everyone.
Don't you sound like
thinking about it like
one of the Looney Tunes.
I recently, in the last couple of years, looked up Looney Tunes and Tiny Toons in YouTube, and it's so hilarious. Like some of those jokes are not meant for kids. It's so funny to go back and watch it.
No, as an adult, I watched the Christmas Story back the other day because I haven't watched that in years. And I used to love that when I was growing up, but I watched it now.
Of that or something.
Yeah, I watched it again now. I was like, let me watch this as an adult and see if it's still good or whatever. So I'm gonna do that with a couple of things too. Like, anyway, I have been into all the Queen's Men lately. I haven't been watching that. I've been hearing about it or whatever. But since all this Christian Keys talk came out, and I love me some Christian Keys.
You know what I texted you about another day.
Anyway,
it's like, listen, I shouldn't say it.
Let's wait. And so I watched all the Queen's Men, and I have to say, I like it. All right, that's all I'll say about that for right now. We'll talk that in reality TV segment later. But now, what are we talking about right now? So, what's up, fourth quarter?
Hey, everybody.
Y'all send some positive vibes to fourth quarter because he's feeling a little bit under the weather. So if y'all watching this on the replay, put some hashtags, fourth quarter feel better. Anyway. All right.
That's nice. Yeah, I want fourth quarter to be better because he does a lot. Production does a lot. She's like, when you have that coworker that calls out, you're like, oh man.
They actually work.
Dang, I really needed your help.
No, because I'm that coworker. So
no, me too. So it's like, oh man, I really need you.
Like, damn, she not here today.
Look, he does a lot around here, so I'm grateful for him. But okay, so since we're already talking about Christian Keys, let's go ahead and talk about Christian Keys because okay, so studies have shown. What am I talking about? Recently, Christian Keys has been in these internet streets because he did that live the other day. I don't even think it's been a week. And there's been so much speculation that he's talking about a lot of people. I don't even want to say any names because
I'm not going to weigh in on the names yet because we're in 2023, about to go into 2024, and we are in the land of shit ain't always what it seems like in front of your eyes. So I'll just rather just be quiet and just listen for a second before I start to go off of what he didn't say, even though it's alluding to the people, right? I just want to watch and see how it unfolds. You know what I mean? Because I just don't know. But I will say I've always been a fan of Christian Keys ever since I saw him in his first Tyler Perry play. I was like, I even got in trouble with my boyfriend at the time. Found a calendar that Christian Keys. I went to a play that they did here in DC, and he was selling calendars, and I got to meet him, and I got to get the calendar that was signed by him, and I had it. It was in the trunk of my car, and my boyfriend at the time had found it and was like, "Who is this guy? Why do you have it?" Like, he was really legit mad about him, and I was like, "That is an actor." He was like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." But anyway, I've always been a Christian Keys fan. All right, and so I believe him, but I just don't know what the strategy is of what he's doing. But I believe this happened to him. He probably got tried a lot. You know what I mean? Like I could see it. And then the one story he told about the woman, like I could see, I know some women that would have done that. But anyway, let me get off my Christian Keys soapbox. All right. What I want to say is, I really want to know who the hell he's talking about. I want to hear the recording.
I think that he is about to say something, or other people are getting together and about to say something. He just was spilling, just brimming at the, you know, he just had to get it out. And I feel like this is like, okay, I feel like this is one of those things where don't say I didn't tell you so, right? It's just like, let me show you, right? So this is like his last, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I definitely believe him. But for him to not say the name of the person, I think it's like a last effort to get the person to either come out and say something and to say, okay, I was a predator or whatever. Or if he was, I don't know. I don't know what the method is. I feel like it's got to be for a good reason, though. I don't feel like anybody would come out and do this and, make a spectacle out of people. I don't think it's fair that people are blaming him for anybody. They're speculating, because I thought of a couple of people when he mentioned the situations that he mentioned.
Yeah.
There's no way
as you start digging into that, right? Like everybody's gonna have a different perception of why they think it's this person or whatever. But the thing that I wanted to have people stop doing is like, you can't really police how he's coming out with it, right? Because we don't know what the fuck he experienced, right? So I mean, I am wanting to know the name, but like I could tell that he was like going through so many different emotions in that live or whatever. But who are we to say spit it out? Like, right, we don't know, saying like we wouldn't even have this information had he not done that live or whatever. So anyway, shouts out to you. You know what I'm saying, Christian Keys. Keep your head strong. You better not be lying. That's all I'll say.
I didn't get that from him, and you didn't get him that from him. I didn't. I really didn't. One of the things that's interesting to me, and I hate when people like compare their traumas or whatever, but it's like we just all have to start believing each other. Like the risk of not believing someone doesn't outweigh believing someone. I think when a lot of people come out, I think this is a very corrupt industry. You know what I'm saying?
But people are like you can say, okay, yeah, we do need to start believing each other, but it's like the fact that people would actually do this to try to trick you is the thing. Like, just like when people come out and they've been R-word, right? You have to, sometimes it's a question that comes up, like, did this really happen like this? And it's messed up, but we are like really skeptical these days, whatever. But for this, I believe him. I just think we should just give him his little space, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I just don't want to say those people are the people if he did not say the name. Because like I said, seeing, like, it's like we could see something in front of our face and it'd be like the opposite thing. Wow. So I'm just gonna, like, my commentary for it right now is just that I believe him. I think it's a lot more than that going on with other people, and I think there's a lot more to the story that he got. And I just wait to hear what he's gonna do, because. But I mean, okay, so I did say this part. If I was telling a story and everything in the story sounded like my sister, like if I realized that, I would come back and be like, well, no, it's not my sister. Because then you would have the backlash of having to fight the people who thought that you did whatever I said you did. So that part confused me, because it's like, well, if it's not this person that it seems like it is, why wouldn't you come and say that it's not? But maybe because if he doesn't say that, then it narrows it down even further before he even has a chance to say it. But then again, he has the tea. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell him how to drop the tea. Yeah, we want it all in one dump, but that's not how it works. So I don't know. But at the same time, like I said, you just never know these days. You could have certain things in front of you and think that you know the answer, but a piece of information that you didn't know comes into play and it changes your whole perspective. Like you were talking about earlier, like that. So I just feel like at this point we just have to just see what happens. it's a lot of weird shit about it. Like I said, why would you let the public think this person? But if it's not, but listen,
I feel like people are at this point. We have to just understand that there are so many predators out there. It's looking like a 1 in 4 out here in these streets. It's like everywhere I turn, somebody it was like predatory. It was somebody was trying to take advantage of somebody else. Even the way this whole business and industry is set up, and we as the consumers of this content, like whether it be media or participation in social media, like we are the value for these companies and they're just trading our attention. But what's interesting to me is that when I watched this Christian Keys live, or I didn't even see it live, but I watched it after the fact, and it's like I just feel like somebody played with him in front of his face and he just had to come out and say this. It's just like you can see when somebody's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can know when somebody's like, trying to get attention.
Whatever happened prior to him pushing that live button, like
it's like you can tell when somebody's out to get attention or somebody's like got some devious things or they want to spill information about people that's not relevant, right? But it's like he's coming out for like very standard reasons, and I think this is like a last attempt to get whoever it is to be like, come on and say it before you get exposed. It's like a last ditch effort to be like, come on now.
Then,
we're gonna say this. And he even said in the video, like, Cassie inspired me and a lot of us probably to come and be like, you know what, that was wrong. You remember that when you used to do that? Not cool. You know what I mean? Like that's what these people are on right now. If I just say, get those kids out of Hollywood. What is happening to them out there? I think, they're getting a lot of bad treatment.
Listen, I bet
I don't want to see that happen to anybody.
What we do end up finding out about people that have, grown up in Hollywood or been a part of whatever, like there are some things that happen that we're like, what is that all about? But think about, we only know those little bit of stories. Like think about all the other things that just go unspoken of because either you're embarrassed you did it, they got something on you or whatever it is. I just think that it's probably crazier than we think it is.
Yeah.
And I want to hear the recordings. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says
because my detective is. I was like, okay, here are the clues. I was like, he said it's a billionaire. These are the billionaires in America. And it doesn't have to be somebody in that industry, but he mentioned a number of years. Like, I wish I had like the little infographics on the screen right now. Because it'd be like, okay, he said from 2008 to 2000, he said a decade and a half. Back from here, that means we're at what, 2008. Okay. I looked at a bunch of projects he was on. There were some directors that were similar. There were some producers that were similar, but some of the things he described, he was describing different people. Like the Silk Road guy. I think I knew who that was. Okay. I ain't gonna say it. But I think we know.
I could see that. I could see that.
Silk Road Bobby. We're calling. We don't know. We don't know what his name is, but
Silk Road Bobby.
Silk Road Bobby. In effect.
Oh my god! Yeah,
we know. Put that one off to the side, I believe. And then we have a situation where a hostile environment was created, and he was. This is what he's describing in the thing. You know what I started doing? This is so funny. I encourage people out there to do this because we're not going to let AI take over our ability to think, but we should use AI to think through stuff that we don't have time to think through. So sometimes that's
a good idea.
I put a long ass like document or transcript into like ChatGPT or something and be like, say this to me like I was 8 years old. Colon. And then I put that in there and they'd be like, well, adults get mad and they do this. And here's a micronote.
Yo, that is actually a really good idea though, because the thing about ChatGPT is, hey Blondie Monique, the thing about ChatGPT and others is that you have to know what prompts to put in there to get valuable information out. And if you did have something that you didn't understand and you wanted to, dumb down, I guess, then that's a good idea. But the prompt actually matters. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
So no, the long and short of the story is, I believe this man. Okay. I think he's out here telling the truth. He's speaking truth to power in these streets. And I just feel so bad for people in Hollywood sometimes because they're out there and certain things motivate us all. Like you want accolades, you want people to know your name, you want people to know you, or we're hearing you did something. And so I understand people like as talented as him who are out here just trying to make it. And they're like, just going between projects, doing their thing. He had this, this idea for the show that he does now.
I think this is a great idea, the show he does.
And I think, this is what, and when he said
again,
this video, take the scenic route.
So
I think he's a great man. I think he's a nice. I was going to say, I think he's a nice young man, but he's not like a young man. Like he's like our age or like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I think he's a nice person. And I think he's, he doesn't seem BSy to me. A lot of times you can just see who a person is just by how they present themselves. You know what I'm saying? If they,
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far.
Okay.
But I agree. Like, I just don't, when you're listening to something, you just kind of I got that shit happen. But I'm just gonna hold off on the names or whatever, except for that one. Like I think that we agree on that one. But even the woman that he was talking about that was like, oh, like nice package and patted his stuff.
There would never be, okay, wait a minute.
I got so many ideas of who that could have been.
There would never be. Okay, so of course you can imagine because they're actresses.
Yeah, but I haven't gone back to look and see who he was in the movie with. But
we know what Pepsi Riley.
Yeah, he claimed that right on. No. So that's the thing. He made it a point so that they wouldn't sully her name on that situation, but he did not make the same attempt when people were definitely having to be in the chat saying Tyler Perry's name. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So why does it mean so much for you to make sure that, oh, no, Trump Pepsi Rally ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't clear up nothing else. So that was something that everybody was like, hey, wow, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But what I will say though is like, what if it's not even a person that has anything to do with movies? Like I gotta go back and listen to the whole thing, but I think all he said was black billionaire or whatever, and everybody assumed that it would have had to been somebody that he worked with. But think about it, like he was looking for investors because he had his little projects, he was writing a book and stuff like that. But it's like, so the investor could be anybody. They don't have to be a person who's actually going to do a movie. They just have to have money. You know what I mean? So I feel like it could be anybody. But then some of the other things that he said about if you heard the person has a very distinct voice.
Oh no!
That to me though just says that like I have a very distinct voice, but everybody doesn't know me. But once they know me, they'll know that I have a distinct voice.
Thought who it could be, but you know what? I'm not going to say it right now. We're going to talk about it later.
So my point is like, I'm just gonna hold off on trying to actually pin that on somebody because I've seen us get tricked before. You know what I'm saying? As far as like media and things like that. Like I'll go back to the DC sniper situation. Everybody was looking for a white box truck. There was not a white box truck involved. You know what I'm saying? So my point is like, I'm just gonna sit. That looked real, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna wait and see. But shout out to him.
I wish him well. I think some things are coming out for people, and I think we all just need to we all need to collectively come to some conclusions together so that we could just like move forward as a society. Like some people are just not important right now. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about, but in this particular circumstance, I think he's telling the truth. I think he's giving a last like stance to say like, listen, I'm going to say your name if you don't come out right now and say that you did this, because we both know you did this, and I've had these recordings on me. So come on out and say it before I
want to hear the recordings. That's what I'm waiting for.
That somebody's going to, and he had all these details about the person has a distinctive voice. They're a billionaire. We talked about the robe situation, but then there was another situation where he fell asleep at a party, and this is from his recollection.
That's what I'm saying. It could be anybody's party.
He fell asleep at a party. He wouldn't say where or whose party. but he fell, or what kind of party it was. He fell asleep at a party. He woke up and the person was trying to get in bed with him. And he said, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Da, 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 da. And the guy says, "Oh, my bad. Like, I'm sorry. And then tries to grab at his crotch. And, this is something
But let me say this though. Think about when the dude tries to holler at you, right? Some of them are pretty persistent. You know what I'm saying? Ladies out there probably know that, somebody tries to talk to you, you might be like, "Oh no, I got a boyfriend. I ain't here for your boyfriend. I want to talk to you," or whatever. Like, when I have been approached by the same sex, it happens that way too. They are very persistent. So I could see a dude, trying him and thinking, "Oh, well, maybe he'll, acquiesce or whatever." I could see that happening. But so that person, whoever it was though, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person who is in the film industry. It could be anybody. So that's why I'm like, I'm not about to put nobody's name out there.
Yeah, he said it was an investor, and he said that there were, he mentioned a number of details. And another thing that I thought was interesting is that Claudia Jordan is one of his friends.
Well, can I say this before you say that? Because the other thing I wanted to point out is that everybody's looking for connections to people that he's worked with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be an upfront relationship. Like, yeah, he gave like clues and stuff like that, but what if he gave some of those clues as not really? I'm not going to say that he was lying on any of the clues, right? But what I'm saying is, like, it could be anybody with money.
Well, okay, if he
and then some relationships aren't on the front of the scene. So, like, how do you really know who is working with who and who's not? We have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's why I'm just, like I said, I'm just reserving saying whoever I think it is. But
yeah, I am too. But I also feel like, if he's accurate in the words that he used, because we talked about whether, you're talking about billionaire or millionaire, right?
He say billionaire
because there's a limited amount of Black billionaires, and if you're trying to trace it back to the entertainment industry, which we don't know if that's what it is,
right?
But it's like there's only a number of Black billionaires, and then there's only a number of them who, and he said your own kind. So who knows what that actually means? But at the same time, it seemed like he was alluding to a Black male and someone who would be investing in films. I know a number of people,
but anybody could though.
Here's the thing too that we have to point out. You don't know how much money somebody makes because they can be putting it into other things or under different names. And like, there is a common practice for companies to build other companies to pay, like, oh, this is a write-off for our company, but we're going to pay this company because we buy the most of this, or we spend our most money on this, so we're going to own that company too. So they're basically paying themselves and telling the government that they paid somebody else, but it's really themselves. And so these are how people get, so it's like, you don't know what industry a person is actually in or how much money they actually have just because you Google it. It's not like always public record because people hide things. You don't really know.
How would he know?
Right.
He would know the same way we know.
And I don't think that people can,
unless they're showing them his bank account or whatever.
Until I hear him say it, I'm not accusing anybody. But he also said things like that are subject. Like,
so my point is, if you are telling a story and you're being descriptive and you're an actor, right? Like, it has to occur to you that, like you just said, there's only a certain number of billionaires. Right. So like, it has to occur to you that people are going to think this if I say this, especially as an actor.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is that he's going for, but I feel like he looked like you said, like something must have happened, and he was just like, "Look, I'm about to go live right now. I'll do it. I'm live."
And it might be for him to have proof after it comes out, because one of the things that he said was, it's gonna break y'all's hearts. With that subject, you don't know whose heart what's gonna break. We don't know how we care about whatever. Because like like there are certain people who I don't think it is, who I'll be like, oh darn, I hope that wasn't you. You know what I mean? But we gotta just be real out here. We don't know these people like that. And these people, there's a predator on every corner I'm seeing. Remember that little sign we used to be scared of outside? With the neighborhood watch. And had like a trench coat and a hat. And like, them niggas be out here. They're predators.
So people who are from the DMV area, because I don't know if they did that everywhere.
Yeah.
If you're in your 40s right now and y'all remember those neighborhood watch signs popping up,
yeah,
or whatever, back in the day or whatever, I remember them just scared the shit out of me. One day they used to ride
the corner on our bikes.
Crazy.
Down at grandma's house. And we used to see that damn sign. I don't know why that's like. Because it was like, oh my God, like, who would be that sinister? Like, we have to watch out. It was like,
yeah, I don't know why
it's gadget or something,
like
but it was like, God.
It was
like scary.
Yeah, but that was back when we didn't have all these things to distract us or whatever. We might have never noticed it today.
That neighborhood watch sign.
Bloggy Monique says, how many billionaires did he work with? Yeah, we were looking up that too.
Yeah,
I don't think we came to a conclusion. But she says he's sending a warning. So my thing is, what is he warning that he's gonna do? Like, okay, I'm gonna turn you in, right? That's the warning. But like, what could have happened for him to be like, okay, I've gone through all these years, and like, what would this warning serve? Like, if I see this person go live and they're about to talk, like, what is it? I guess everybody's trying to figure out what is it that he wants.
I feel like, and I'm drawing together a string of illusions here. I'm going through this real time with you guys, but I'm in my mind, this is what's happening. Because he mentioned in the video that this person is, I'm not flaunting, but like doing give back things or doing things and are making themselves look like they're this or that, but they're actually the predator. He says in this thing, he was like, y'all would be heartbroken. And then it's just like, okay, well, why are you saying all that? And then at one point he's like, you know, you're not going to want to think that because you put this person on a pedestal and I forgot the word.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's why everybody would further think that it was Tyler Perry, right? And like, I get it. Like, it sounds like him, but I just can't. Because when he got to the part about saying that the investor did not invest in his stuff, was he talking about Silk Road guy?
I guess so, because
Tyler Perry is on his show. Yeah. So maybe he just wasn't talking about him in that part or whatever. I don't know. That's why I'm like, this is crazy. But I will say that, you know, like I said before, the show's good. I
gotta go watch it. I gotta go watch it because I do think he's talented, and you know, I appreciate his.
And I forgot he could sing. I need to go back and watch the play.
I didn't even realize that. You know, I appreciate him for being. You know, he had said one time at some point in the video that like take the scenic route. And he was describing like a situation where he only had enough money to pay like whatever for his kids and all this stuff. And I was like, he was like, I can get by on a balloon sale.
Hey, I'm the single one.
So nice. I was just thinking, like, you know, we've all been there, and I just felt like it came off as genuine. I don't think he was lying.
Listen, I'm just gonna withhold the name that I think it is right now, but I do think that second one is right. But you know, shout out to him, and hopefully that that's something everybody should tell. Like, to stop saying like he needs to say it. He needs, like, you can't tell anybody how to release something that happened to them, whatever. Like, you can't. So, you know, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait and see. But like I said, I have a biased opinion because I love Christian Keys. So
yeah,
I can admit it. Whatever, there's that. So, you know, that's where we are on that. But I am gonna still follow this story. I know you are, because
absolutely.
It was some other stuff that came out too. He posted another post recently, and it was like an old interview of him like going through his story. Like, it was a lot I didn't know about him. Like, I didn't realize he was adopted. I didn't realize, you know, he had I forgot, it was
issues growing up with his childhood, like he had
running away and stuff like that. Like, I didn't realize that or whatever. But I mean, that just goes to show how we misunderstand everybody. Like you look at social media and you see something and you just everybody has a different perception of what they just saw. You know what I'm saying? Based on your experience. So it's like we are bound to, I was saying this earlier, we're bound to misunderstand each other. It's just going to happen. Like it's going to happen because we're all different. You know what I mean? But the reason why, and case in point, I like when we watch Ready to Love, and I get to see the interviews like post show after the show is aired, and they like are talking about other stuff other than the show, and you get to learn, you know, where the person grew up, you know, what they like doing or what their business is, whatever. You kind of get to understand a little bit more about that person, and that is where like growth comes from, like within yourself, or if you're talking to somebody that you need to grow with, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of people come in with their answer, like, no, they come in to bat your answer down and be like, no, my answer's right. And it's like, okay, it ends here, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, there's no expansion for that. It's no room to talk. But if it's like you come in like, okay, this is the life that I'm living and this is the lens I'm seeing it through. This person has a different view. So let me see what we can exchange.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how like people that are in the military do well when they work within a group. And I'm not going to go off onto that or whatever, but it's like you realize that everybody has a different view of the world.
Yeah.
Like, and if you get into a situation, everybody has to pull on whatever their strengths are.
Yeah.
You may not even know, like if you may not even know at first, but once you talk to the people, then you would do that. But our communication, like I said all that to say, our communication kind of stops because it's like either a person has to be right or wrong instead of coming to be like, well, this is what's going on over here. What do you think? And they're like, well, from my point of view, I see this is that. That person's not offended that you don't take their advice, but you might have learned something to be able to, oh, I can get to the next level or whatever. But I don't think that we do that as a whole. So just like everybody's coming out here to say either he's right or he's wrong, like in what he's doing, releasing like talking about the story. It's like, no, we should just be looking at it as this person sharing their experience, and that's kind of what it is. Like we can't say, oh, spit it out. Oh, we should have did it like this. Oh, we should have did it like that. Well, you wouldn't know how I would do something because you're not me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we always will misunderstand each other, but we just can't come in and just be like, it's my opinion or your opinion, or I have the right way and you have the right way. Anyway, I'm not gonna ramble.
No, you weren't rambling. I was just wondering if we were frozen.
Are we frozen?
I felt like we were, but you know, maybe we're not. And if we're not,
Blondie, Monique, we were talking about two different guys.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't think we're frozen.
I hope not, because
we might be frozen.
Oh, boo. Anyway, well, if you can still hear the audio, we're gonna get this frozen thing under wraps.
Put it on mute real quick. Okay,
Hello,
and we're
Jane.
back, guys.
Hello, Jane, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear us.
Yes. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties and we're back. So we talked about the Christian Key situation and now we are on to what was the
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan
Put a
Majors.
1 in the chat if you guys can hear us. We have some technical difficulties.
Yes,
I'm
give us
feeling
a
like
1 if you
a
can
real auntie over here because I'm like, wow.
We're the right.
We really had to figure it out. But you know what? We figured it out and we're back. And okay, wait. I want to share this screen because you know, there's a lot of stuff happening out here in the streets. We're talking about Christian Keys. That was only one topic.
I cannot believe we talked about that for 30 minutes.
Jonathan Majors is out here. He caught a whole case, verdict, whatever you call it. And shout out to Jesse Wu and Kojo, but Raven Simone Redwine. Simone and Jesse Wu were over on Kojo's channel last night talking about this case, and they had so much good stuff to say, and they look at it in a different way. And even like to your point when you were talking about earlier about people having a different viewpoint, and we're meant to misunderstand each other so that we can be curious and seek more information. It's like you don't have to be pressed to tell somebody they're wrong. It's just like we just listen to them and try to cooperate with each other. It'll be better for everyone.
Right. Like, why does it have to be like this whole fight? Like, it doesn't have to be a fight just because we don't think the same. Like, we're not supposed to think the same.
That's why we accentuate one another in this community. Anyway, I got what you were saying. I felt that.
Let me just, before we get into that, the reason why I got that is because I just watched so many things happen just from a group of people in a room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably do it at work. Something needs to happen. You need to come up with a project or a result. You go into the room or group with these 4 or 5 people, and then y'all come out with a product. And the product that you came up with probably be different than 5 other people did it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have guidelines and stuff like that, but like most of that stuff is put in by the creativity of the people. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I feel you though.
But that's how we should look at feedback. Like, this person is obviously not going to look at it like me, but they have some important information.
We can both bring
something.
We can both share our perspective and come be better together.
Yeah, everything you might say might not be useful, but there might be 1 or 2 things that I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. Had I not talked to you, then I would not have, known that. But anyway.
That was just such a valid point. I feel like it's going to resonate throughout a lot of different topics. So don't be surprised if I bring that back up because that was a really good point. Anyway, Jonathan Majors is out here. Listen, he got a 3rd degree, something or the other misdemeanor. It's just like, it's so interesting to Jesse Wu is hilarious because now I can't unsee what she's saying about him being like civil rights or whatever, and like how his jackets be looking like he was from the civil rights movement.
Is that a corduroy jacket?
I believe so. I believe that's corduroy. And I think, it's funny. Somebody was in the comments talking about, oh, you just love to kick a black man while you're down, don't you? Somebody in her comments.
I gotta go watch.
And I was just hoping to goodness that they were just being funny, because I was just like, come on, man. Like, she's not doing anything. A lot of these things that people are doing out here, it's like we have to be able to have a sense of humor about these things. Like, we can't take everything so seriously. This doesn't happen to anybody. But this didn't happen to none of y'all. This lady sprained her finger or something. Like, this is not the poster child of domestic violence. I don't think that he was treating that lady right.
See, but I don't understand though what happened, because I just saw the video of her chasing him through town or something. Or he was like running and she was, what the hell was happening?
I'll tell you the long and short of it, because I was there.
Oh my God.
I be talking so crazy sometimes. I be talking so reckless. I told James one time that I was like, I could have a whole 3-minute segment on a news show just saying nothing. It's like, if you want to know the truth and the whole truth, then you better buckle up and sit down, because I got a lot to tell you. I saw it all from beginning to end. I can tell you who came in, who went out. I have the scoop. You can say that for 2 more minutes.
Just keep saying stuff like that behind.
What are you doing? nothing.
Oh my
of
god!
value. But I mean, like he was like convicted or whatever of the lowest form
Oh
of
my
whatever
God.
the law was, right? Like it was like aggravated, like he didn't even it wasn't that he assaulted her in this instance. It was that by way of interaction or circumstance, bodily harm was caused. It was like the third
degree reckless assault
Yeah.
and harassment.
which is wild because they obviously was dramatic as hell. I hate this couple. Like these are the couples. I'm telling you one thing right now. These couples that cause a scene. You don't take them nowhere for dinner. Y'all have more drama. We don't want y'all no more. I know exactly who y'all are. We don't want y'all together.
Yo, we do know people like that. Yo.
We
You're
do
right.
not condone this. I'm not going to do this with Sean, yo.
You'd be like, oh.
I know exactly who they are.
Oh my God. All right, let me get myself
You got me laughing, but look, I know exactly who they are. We don't want to see y'all together. You have the drama in the streets. Now you got a court case. And now you out here looking crazy.
Yeah.
But I appreciate people like Jessie Woo and Simone Redwine because they're breaking it down. And I just learned last night from the live that I saw that also Jessie Woo has like some education in political science, and so she really knows it. And it makes sense because she be breaking them cases down. So first of all, if Jessie Woo or Plaintiff Jane or Simone says something about like, a case or whatever, I tend to be like, okay, I can trust those three and others, but those three specifically to have read, right? It's like I don't have to question whether they read through the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like they're pretty detailed. So yeah, I mean, I think Jonathan Majors unfortunately learned a lesson, and you can't treat people any old kind of way, basically, but you get more hemmed up. Anyway, I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna get out here on these streets and make any accusations about different types of people, but I just think, this picture sums it up for everyone. Look at him. Look at him. He just got out on these streets like a little while ago. Like when I first saw him, he was on Lovecraft Country or whatever on HBO.
I started watching that and I didn't never finish.
Oh my God, it was really good. It took a turn there.
I only watched like one episode.
It went from like Let My People Go to it went to sci-fi real quick, and I was like, oh wait, what are we doing here? Like it was really good. It was scary. They kept it interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was like a black superhero something thing or whatever, but I only watched one episode. Maybe I'll go back and binge that, but
it was good.
I haven't seen it. But okay, so he was in that. All right.
It was good. And Journey Smollett,
okay,
she did her thing in that jump. That was a really good look for her.
But
that
was on HBO, right?
I think so, yeah. You can probably find it in a lot of places now. I don't know how that stuff gets sold or whatever, but anyway, yeah. So I just feel like, this is I do not, nobody is condoning violence, anybody, towards anybody, but this was like so, this was like the lesser amount of an accusation that someone could receive for a verdict. And I think there were some litigation mistakes that were made, especially based on what Simone and others have been saying. I think that his lawyer made some mistakes. And I think that, this is an unfortunate situation, but you make your bed and you see what happens. And so,
all I know is when I saw that video of him running, like I was like, how did they get so many camera
angles
of him running from here? That was crazy to me, and I was like, what is happening right now? So that's why I was like, oh, okay. I mean, but I don't think he'll do a year in jail or whatever. So we'll see. We'll follow that and see what happens. But those are just my thoughts on it. I just want to know what happened because I saw him running from her. So,
yo, he was running. He was like Forrest Gump.
Like all these cameras.
He was running like Forrest Gump. I had never seen nobody. I haven't seen nobody like that in a long time. Run that hard and with that much intention.
That's what I'm saying. That's how
he was running
like,
down that street.
Happening right now.
I was really concerned. Okay, but anyway, I'm trying to find this one video. But you know what? I'll just put up anything because she's her own boss. You know, I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is behind the scenes. I'm gonna put this up.
Yeah, that video you just sent me a while ago. She was like, the gag is blah blah blah. I watched that show like a couple of times because
with her and Wendy Williams?
No, she was talking to a guy and she was like, the gag is blah 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 blah. She was talking to a man, she was sitting across the desk from him. Maybe that was
it was Charlamagne, probably.
No, it was a white man, I think. It was like an older white man. I don't know. It was a video.
Oh.
You don't remember it?
I don't. I've seen so many things that she did.
Yeah, she was like, what was she saying in the video? She was saying,
well, I know she told Wendy Williams that the gag is you weren't there because Wendy Williams tried to say, like, why would you hide in the closet? I'm not buying it. We don't believe you. And she was like, the gag is you weren't there. So you don't have to just believe me.
She was explaining to this dude how I want to say stuff looks on social media, but it was like a older white man that she was talking to. I have to rewatch it and see.
Well, I was giving her a shout out because I know she has some drama going on with her baby father.
Yeah, she does.
But you know what? She doesn't show it. It doesn't show her work ethic or nothing like that. She be working.
We're all still people. Like, yeah, you might be a person with a whole lot of more money and your job is something different and you have different, priorities. But like people still make the same mistakes that any other person can make.
Yeah.
And choosing people especially. So anyway.
No, I'm with you on that. I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like she's out here doing her thing. I love this new song she has called Assets because it's highlighting things that are positive. And I just feel like it's a good sound and she gave us a little two-step. I mean, she did her thing in this and I just applaud her for being like, professional just because we all see that she's going through something in her personal life, but you can't tell in her professional life. So, shout out
everybody got something going on. What do you think? Since you're talking about Keke Palmer, like, what do you think about when I've heard people say that she's like our modern day Whitney Houston?
Keke Palmer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
based on how she is in her videos, how her personality is. You don't think it's like Whitney Houston's how
her personality? Sure. I mean, I wouldn't compare her to Whitney Houston. I see what you mean as far as like
I just heard that
the quick wit and the stand up for yourself and be sassy or whatever and like smart. I could see her like in that capacity, but as far as Whitney Houston, I feel like Whitney Houston took us to another level as far as like vocal performance and pop culture that nobody can really redo.
But she was a singer and an actress, right? Yeah. So in that aspect and her personality of how she would bust out and do something crazy and say something crazy, you don't think that like it's similar to the way Keke Palmer is, especially when she comes on camera or whatever. I'm just asking because I've seen a couple of people say it, and so I just wanted to ask you that.
No, that's a good assessment. I mean, as far as
like not the vocals part,
her vocals be on point though.
They could sing, but I'm not talking about like Whitney Houston concert or Keke Palmer concert. I'm talking about like how her personality is in these videos.
I don't know who I would compare it to, but it wouldn't be Whitney Houston. I could think of a person if I thought about it for a second, which I will now. But I also feel like, wait a minute, not quite there, but here, I feel like she's her own person, but like she's so vibrant and just like full of personality. And it's just like she comes with everything. Like you could just put her on a set with a camera and somebody who knows how to like maybe work lighting or do sound or something, and she'll be like, okay, you do this. We're going to do this over here. Okay, we should do it like this. Like she's that type of person that would be like, what if we did it like this? Like you came in from this way. Like you can just tell how creative she is. So I wouldn't compare her to Whitney, but I see what you mean because she has like the same like sort of triple threat or whatever. Like,
but I'm gonna send you some videos when it comes across me, like that.
But she can sing and she can dance too, and she's funny and she's witty, and she's like, her timing is like comedically, like she's really good. So I mean, yeah, I could see her. I was just thinking about when Whitney did Saturday Night Live. That was really funny back in the 90s. But anyway, shout out to Keke Palmer. Listen, we got a couple more topics. We appreciate y'all. We really do.
Thank you all for coming back after we had our technical difficulties. But y'all that are content creators know that when you have a live show, anything can fucking happen, okay? You just gotta keep on going with the punches, and we're gonna edit that little pause out.
Yes, right? We certainly are. Okay, can we just make a pact as society right now? Anybody who this gets to, and please feel free to forward this on to your loved ones. We need to stop tuning into this Chrisean Rock and Blueface drama. Can we all just come together and agree that we don't care about them anymore? They need to go and work. They're just like that other couple we were talking about earlier, where it's just like, please don't come to our event. Jonathan Majors and his girl. It's just like, y'all always be dramatic, always something popping off. We just want to come and have a good time. We never know what's really going on. We just want to have some drinks and chill. Y'all coming in here and ruining the vibe. Damn. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the same thing. I can't. At some point, I stopped like paying attention to the details. So I don't know where they are right now, because if you miss a day, Lord, lets you miss a week of their information, people could be back together and apart like 3 or 4 times. So I don't even know what's going on now. I'll tell you what happened most recently. I mean, something could happen this afternoon. That's what I'm saying. To be honest with you, that's what makes it so ridiculous. But so basically, he has video of her putting the baby in the back seat with no car seat. Oh, Lord. She just got in the seat and was like, okay, I'm getting ready to get in the front. I think this is it right here. Let me see. I was like, you know what? I hate to even put this on here, because I don't want to see anything else from them. And I feel even bad about this. It's just like, they're out here doing the most. And I just hope sometimes that they are actually joking. But I don't think they are. I think this is really happening. So he's trying to say, like, oh, you don't got no car seat for the baby. Put the baby in the back seat. I want us to all come together as society. I know we don't agree in a political way. I know we don't agree about guns or drugs. We have to agree that we don't want to see none of their business no more. That they need to go somewhere. They need to put them in a can. So did you see? Put them on an island. Not in a can. Did you see the commercial for his new show that he has coming? Looking for a new artist. It was like to the tune of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Blueface's Mr. Rogers. He comes in like that's the whole Mr. Rogers thing. Changes his shoes, changes his jacket. It was really. Man, how disgusting. I was like, what is this? I was kind of questioning, like, is it for real? Is it a parody? I didn't know what it was, but I think it's real. I think it's real, and I don't want to hear from them. I don't be gone till November. I don't want to hear from you guys until you go work out your lives. Like, y'all shouldn't be together. Be gone till November. I don't want to hear y'all. Like, just go disappear for a second, get yourself together, come back. Do something positive and people can support it. But it's just like, y'all be doing too much and it's exhausting and we have to work. And I don't feel like it's fair for y'all to just be having so much drama. And that baby be looking so grown. I've never seen a more stressed out newborn in my life. Oh my God, I haven't seen the baby recently. Have you seen his face? No, I saw it the first time he be looking stressed. I don't know if it's just baby be looking stressed. Yes, I can't explain it. But when you see the baby's photo, I'm not going to put it up here because I feel like that's exploiting a child. I'll go Google it. But when you look at the baby's photo, you're going to feel away. You can't Google it right now. You're going to feel away. And you're going to be like, wow, I don't want that for that baby. I mean, it's true. I want them to go and get their lives together. And I feel like she is I don't want to say I don't know if she's a good mom or anything like that because I don't know her, but I feel like, they need to get themselves together and they don't need to be out here, doing all of this for the public. They need to get themselves together, take care of their children and just leave us out of it for a little spell. I don't want to know no more about y'all. I wish I could block y'all. I wish I could block y'all so bad. Like, dang,
you really, really, really felt
I'm so sad. I wish I could block out because y'all be so dramatic, and I'd be concerned for the baby now. It's like I can't take this on top of my regular day. Like, and I don't have no control over it, but it's like I can just see y'all like, disintegrating right before my eyes, and I don't want no parts of it. I can't help you. I don't want to see it. So please go get yourselves together with love.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I'll look for the baby.
So things we didn't talk about that we're gonna pick up next week are this whole Color Purple situation. Taraji is out here talking about getting underpaid. People are pointing back to not Monica, Monique. People are pointing back to when Monique said it, and there's a whole conversation happening around that. I think that deserves some more attention because people have these, like assumptions, like, oh, you're in Hollywood, so that means you got this and this and that. And I think that Taraji did a good job of like breaking down like where the money goes and like, there needs to be some changes made. And I know they just had that strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike, and I feel like there's still more work to be done, but hopefully that these artists will get paid more, or actresses and actors will get paid more as they go forward. But yeah, there's that. There's some stuff that I don't want to believe about people connected to this Diddy drama, but I have to go and find more information before I be saying names. And it just dawned on me that this person might be connected in another area.
That's another situation. Yeah, that I just kind of, I think that a lot of other stuff is going to come out
about this. But
people back in the 90s.
Man, there's a lot of stuff that happened, and I think a lot of those predators. I'm just like looking around, like damn, y'all like looking like 1 in 4 around here on these statistical streets, and it's like it's 1 every 3rd guy. So I just feel like I don't want anybody to like idolize anybody or put anybody on a pedestal because all of our little heroes are getting pointed out one by one. So it's like I'm not putting nothing past this. The Bible says things about evil men, and listen, they're right before our eyes. So I'm just like, look, I don't trust none of these people no more.
Yeah, I gotta follow that story a little bit more closely.
Yeah, we gotta see what's happening. But yeah, anyway, we had a good time with y'all tonight. We're gonna be back in the next couple weeks with more information and thoughts on some of this stuff as it plays out. I want to know who Christian Keys is talking about. I want to know what happens with Jonathan Majors. They say he ain't gonna do no jail time though. I want to know more.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
I want to know more about the Color Purple thing too, because Taraji not only talked about getting underpaid, but apparently there was some beef between Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, we need to look more into that. So the next time we do a show, it'll be after Christmas. So I don't know if we're gonna go see the movie, and we might be able to talk about it then, or we can see it later or whatever. But okay, so a little small reality TV thing, right? I didn't do my review for Ready to Love, Make a Move this week, but another episode comes on tomorrow, so I'll just wind them in too. But you didn't watch that. No. You just set out the whole season and said, fuck it, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So
I didn't
if it comes back, then you'll have a show, like a season to binge, right? Okay, so
I'm gonna watch it.
We'll talk about that.
I just didn't yet.
I haven't been watching any other reality shows. I've been just kind of like the last couple of days I've been binging on All the Queen's Men, and it's some other stuff that I want to watch because I want to watch all the cheesy holiday movies.
Yes,
okay,
Christmas time.
That's what I'm about to do. In the next couple of days, I enjoy my vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank y'all for staying with us tonight through our technical difficulty. We will see y'all next week. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Oh my God, these internet streets be popping. It'd be so much stuff happening.
I feel like I'm in that era of life where it's like, okay, I remember back in the day, like back in my day, this used to happen. I feel like right now we have no idea. What we could be saying next week.
God.
Anyway, shout out to y'all. Like the video, share the video, and we will see y'all next week. Get in the comments below and let us know you were here. Okay.
Bye.
Peace, everybody.